Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, April 17th. I'm your host, Jamie Sherrod, and you're watching LiveNow Detroit at 4.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
First at 4, severe weather slamming Metro Detroit after a couple of calm days. Hopefully, you got out and enjoyed them. Stephanie Mead has been tracking the system for us. She joins us now. Hi, Steph.
Hi. So we are seeing kind of the brunt of the storm as we speak. We do have still severe thunderstorm warnings for parts of Wayne County. Now, it looks like the line has starting to shift a little bit further east. So for those that are west of downtown, have already seen kind of this gusty system move through. But as for parts of Wayne County, parts of Oakland County, and now Macomb County, they are included in a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Those are up until about 4:45-ish. So for those that are, again, just a little bit further east of the metro area dealing with that line of storms. Otherwise, if you are, say, into portions of, it looks like Macomb County, that's where we have that severe thunderstorm warning as of right now. It's now shifting through Pontiac as we speak. So for those that are within parts of Oakland County, Macomb County, that's where we're dealing with this severe thunderstorm warning. And we're seeing winds in excess of around 50 to 60 miles per hour up near parts of the Macomb area. You're seeing potentially some hail. So again, if you live within those highlighted counties, parts of Oakland County, Macomb County, far northeastern parts of Wayne County, and then southern parts of Lapeer County, you are all included in those severe thunderstorm warnings. So active warnings at this point. As this line continues to shift eastbound, areas back west are starting to quiet down. So there really isn't a whole lot going on out near western parts of the state, even near Lansing and Jackson. It was a bit active earlier this afternoon, closer to say 2, 3 o'clock. We were seeing tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings there. For us as of right now, though, really the only active warnings we're seeing is across northeastern parts of Wayne County, Macomb County, parts of Oakland County, far eastern Oakland County, and then southern Lapeer County for right now. As this line continues to track eastbound, though, we will continue to see quieter conditions, which is great. I think overnight into early tomorrow, we see calm before we see our next system here, and that's going to bring us our next chance for some rain. And then heading into this upcoming weekend, it actually looks fairly quiet. So quiet, but a little bit cooler. Right now, they have since updated our severe thunderstorm risk. So earlier, we still have a slight risk, but they've shifted it a little bit further east. It's still including the thumb and parts of downtown Detroit at this point, but it's kind of picking up on the last of these storms that are moving through right now. Temperatures at the moment are starting to cool. We did top out in the mid-70s out ahead of this system, but as we progressively get deeper into the evening, those numbers will fall. Overnight into early tomorrow, we dry out. Showers arrive very late Thursday and potentially into early Friday. Lows tonight will bottom out in the 50s. Storms will come to an end. We are still getting those active warnings. That's my iPad talking to us right now. And early showers should arrive as we head through the day on Friday. But tonight we should eventually start to see those storms clear out. We are still dealing with those as we speak. Early next week, additional shower chances possible. Otherwise, once we kind of wrap up that chance late Thursday into Friday, we should dry out just in time for this weekend. But here's that shower and thunderstorm chance arriving early Friday by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. This is by 7, though. So you notice the back edge of that out near western parts of the state should be well out of here by around, say, the early part of the afternoon. And then Friday evening as a whole looks great, but our numbers will begin to fall as well. As we head through the day today, temperatures were in the 70s. We'll scale those back to the 60s through the end of the week, and then 50s heading into this upcoming weekend. So once we bypass the severe weather, which it looks like a good portion of us are already in the clear from, we should eventually start to see improving conditions, especially as we look ahead to Saturday and Sunday. But as a whole right now, very active out there. Hopefully you have the Fox 2 weather app. It gives you alerts clearly to your phone or to whatever device that you have. So it gives you updates on what exact threats you're seeing and where it's headed after that. So active right now, and we've been seeing wind gusts in some locations, at least reports out near Pontiac around 50 miles per hour. So it is packing a punch just in terms of winds, but luckily the tornadic activity very, very low at this point.
Okay, I know that's good for so many people to hear. And so this system will only be sticking around until tonight. Then we'll get a little break until a day or so from now.
For sure, yeah. And the stuff at the end of the week isn't going to be severe. It's just going to be your garden variety showers. And I think we should probably have about a half an hour to 45 minutes more of this activity. But once this line moves out, we should begin to quiet down later on this evening.
All right, sounds good. We'll check back in with Steph later in the show. Thank you, Steph.
Yeah, see you then.
Well, now let's get into our news of the day. Ann Arbor district officials will meet with staff today as they consider teacher layoffs to help fix a $25 million deficit. Now, this follows last night's meeting with parents and community members sharing their concerns. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has the details.
I'm outraged about it and curious as to how something like this could even happen in any district, let alone Ann Arbor.
That right there, the $25 million question, and the reason all these people crowded into the cafeteria at Huron High School in Ann Arbor on Tuesday night. It was the site of yet another community input session to get feedback on what positions and programs should be cut and kept to balance a budget way in the red.
The Ann Arbor Public Schools and the teachers in it have been monumental to where I am right now. And to think that some of them might be leaving or might have to leave, it's really hurtful.
The school board recently recommended trimming administrative and central office staff to deal with the massive deficit. They've instituted a hiring freeze and are renegotiating vendor contracts. Then just last week, it approved layoffs for teachers and other employees. Pretty much everything is on the table in hopes of turning the tables.
And we're just hoping that they come up with really thoughtful solutions to this, where the teachers aren't affected, the kids aren't affected as much, and that our school survives.
The shortfall being blamed partly on an increase in staffing over the last decade and a decrease in student enrollment. That combined with higher operational costs, creating some challenging times. A $14 million clerical error also adding to the financial burden and fueling frustrations.
That is why we have authorized that third-party review, so that we can hopefully get some additional context for that, so that we can know how to make sure things like this don't happen again in the future.
We are told the district is also looking into selling vacant school properties to diminish the debt and will soon start a marketing campaign aimed at bringing students back to Ann Arbor schools. Brighter days are hopefully on the horizon, but first, more meetings and difficult decisions.
I am deeply committed to the success of this district and looking for ways that we can help improve things, but right now it's very contentious.
School leaders in Ann Arbor will hold a couple more meetings today, but these meetings are specifically for school staff. The next community meeting is set to happen on Thursday at 6:30 inside Skyline High School. And of course, the whole point of these meetings is to help the board come up with a more detailed plan going forward. Reporting for Fox 2 News, I'm Robin Murdoch.
By the time next school year begins, Oxford Community Schools will have a new superintendent. The board voting unanimously to select Dr. Tanya Mulligan. She's currently the executive director of K-12 teaching and learning at Columbus City Schools in Ohio. Board members say her experience makes her uniquely qualified to lead a district that's been through so much, namely the 2021 mass shooting that claimed the lives of 4 high school students and left several others hurt.
As we recover not only from COVID, but from our tragedy and other things in day-to-day lives, we're finding more people are qualifying for services and stuff. And having somebody that has that experience from a larger district and being able to pull the different things together for that, I think is super important.
Dr. Mulligan has many years of experience working in Columbus. Before becoming an executive director, she was a principal for 7 years and assistant principal for 6. She is expected to officially step into her new role in Oxford in July. Well, now to a developing story out of Lansing, where former Michigan House Speaker Lee Chatfield is facing criminal charges. He's accused of converting legal political contributions into secret funds for his own lavish lifestyle. Fox 2's Tim Skubic has the details.
In a 7-year period of time, the state attorney general alleges that the most powerful man in the Michigan House at the time, Republican Speaker Lee Chatfield, raked in some $7 million in political contributions, all legal, but into funds that by law did not have to be reported to anybody. Attorney General Dana Nessel accuses Mr. Chatfield of taking those dollars and converting them for his own personal use for alleged lavish trips to Las Vegas, Orlando, the Bahamas, and she claims he paid off $132,000 in credit card debts that not only benefited him, but those around him.
It is not an exaggeration to say that his employees, friends, and family all benefited from the extravagant misspending of these funds.
If convicted on the most severe charges of the 13 he is facing, he faces a maximum 20 years behind bars.
Our investigation has uncovered evidence that Lee Chatfield used various different schemes to embezzle, steal, and convert both private and public monies to fund a lavish lifestyle that his state salary could not possibly afford.
Beyond those lavish spending charges from the state, the Attorney General was asked if she had proof that the Speaker did anything illegally, legislatively, for the people who gave him the money. She could not confirm that possible linkage.
As I've indicated, our investigation is ongoing, and we have not completed the investigation, but we're moving forward with these charges now, so I don't have an answer to your question.
The attorney for Mr. Chatfield says, quote, "We are prepared to fight them every step of the way," end quote. In Lansing, Tim Skubic, Fox 2 News.
A suspect wanted for shooting 5 people over a parking spot is now in police custody. He briefly left the state, but when he came back, Detroit police were waiting for him. They arrested 32-year-old Damon Hunter at Detroit Metro Airport soon after his return flight from Tennessee. Now, Hunter is accused of shooting into a crowd outside the Chicago Blues Bar and Grill late last month. 5 people were shot, but thankfully, all of them survived. Hunter is now facing 9 felony charges. He is due back in court on Friday.
The lean machine is a machine that's used for law enforcement purposes, not to have your own frolic and detour.
A police software used to run license plates at the center of an investigation involving a Clinton Township police officer. Officer John Reno was fired and is now facing charges. He's accused of abusing his power by using the database on his own time. It's not clear what he did with the information, but he's been charged with a misdemeanor. Reno has denied any wrongdoing and is out on bond. He's due back in court May 15th. The fight to save a historic school building in Keego Harbor continues. A judge has granted a stay, giving supporters 14 days to file an appeal to keep the former Roosevelt Elementary standing. The West Bloomfield School District voted to demolish the building, saying it has structural problems. But supporters say its history should be preserved, not destroyed.
It was just a safe place, and we were able to meet up with other neighbors. And I mean, really, truly, like I said, it was the heart of the city.
What is the plan over the next 14 days?
To get to work. I tell you, we've been working really hard up to this point, and we'll just continue that momentum.
Supporters are hoping to preserve the Roosevelt School and turn it into a property with apartments and businesses. Reaction is still pouring in following GM's planned move to the new Hudson's Detroit building. And lost in all of this is the fate of the RenCen. Questions are swirling about what will happen to the building now that GM is packing its bags. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly has more on what could be in store.
Being in commercial real estate, my first reaction to everything is cautious.
But as more information was released and it was revealed that General Motors is heading to Dan Gilbert's new Hudson's building at the site of the old Hudson's department store, this real estate guru had this to say.
It's an exciting rebirth for the city in so many ways.
Fox 2 caught up with Detroit's Mayor Mike Duggan, who spoke about the future of the RenCen.
I think there's lots of possibilities. We're going to look for corporate users across Michigan and across the country.
Although General Motors is moving its headquarters, it's currently still the owner of the iconic structure, and it's working with the city on what happens next.
The governor's passing a plan for incentives for R&D companies to come to Michigan. Could the Renaissance Center be an R&D incubator center? And there's huge demand for housing downtown on the water. Could you convert some of this to housing?
The mayor believes the great advantage is that they have time to develop a plan. And as many contemplate the future of the RenCen, city officials say the public's voice will be heard.
It's going to be a year-long conversation.
As you start to look at live, work, play lifestyles, Renaissance Center could be one of those places where your office is in the building, your apartment is in the building, you do your shopping somewhere in the building.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
What a difference a few lights can actually make. The Detroit sign has a few people taking back their negative statements.